Thank you for staying on the pulse. Let's start from Parliament, where the minority leader, Afenyo Markin, is tearing into the leadership of the Electoral Commission over its decision to rerun election in 19 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. And our Deputy EC Chair, Dr. Bosman Asare, had earlier told Parliament the Commission was not considering rerun of the election and only needed police protection to conclude collation. Markin's remarks are on the floor. The minority leader alleged that it appears that EC leadership have caved in to threats of removal and are prioritizing their jobs over the country's democracy.
Deputy Chair, Dr. Bosman, sitting in for his boss, told us that all they need is security to enable them finish the 3 polling stations. I ask a question. What has changed? Mr. Speaker, we should be careful as a democracy how we are managing this democracy. Mr. Speaker, today we have a member in this chamber from Domi Kwabenya because when it was left with some few polling stations, EC relied on tally cards. Aden, Michael Kwe Jr., onu di onye nipa, onye Ghanini. Michael Kwe Jr. protested, but he did not protest with violence. He did not carry his constituent to the EC Collation Center. He expressed his disagreement in a civil way. Today, we have our colleague Akurugu in with us because EC used tally cards to complete the collation process. And when it is clear that the EC was on course to complete this process, we are being told today that there's going to be rerun of some constituencies. It is unfair. It is unjust. Is it the case, and I don't want to believe that that is the case, that the recent public comment by some senior politicians is what is compelling EC, perhaps to secure their job? They want to succumb to the whims and caprices of certain extremists or certain hardliners. It is not fair. Maybe today this thing it is helping some other people. Tomorrow it may be their turn.
I'll stay on this a bit further. Parliamentary Affairs correspondent Kweku Asante joins us with more on this. So Kweku, the minority now wants the EC to be brought to Parliament to face some questions.
If you will recall that it's been only a few days that the Electoral Commission were brought before Parliament on these same matters having to do with Ablekuma North. And he did answer those questions. Dr. Bosman Asare was the one who gave the answering of those questions. The minority say they must come back and explain what exactly the rationale is for deciding that they are going to rerun that election. It's something that they are against, but they want to hear from the Electoral Commission in terms of the explanation, apart from the public statement that he did put out, defending the decision to do so. Listen to Afenyo Markin again, the minority leader.
I would humbly plead with my colleague opposite me to program the EC. We just received Prime Minister Modi talking about our strides in democracy. Let us not wish them away. In the sub-region, many countries wish they were Ghana. They are not Ghana because they took the institutions for granted. And today, they are paying dearly for it. Let's not say to ourselves, had I known, EC must come here and brief us why, in spite of their being unequivocal, they have now changed course. We must not allow this. So, Mr. Speaker, I expect that on issue 1, next week, the EC will be programmed to come and brief the House. We see some people are with all smiles. They are not questioning the 19 because it suits them. We see them, smiles all over, broad smiles on their faces.
Now, Kweku, so this concern was re-echoed by NPP MP for Wale Wale, correct?
Yes, in fact, prior to Afenyo Markin walking in to the business statement that was being presented and then making these remarks, Dr. Ablekuma North, the member father for Wale Wale, had raised that issue early on. He was questioning the basis for the Electoral Commission decision to bring around the election in those 19 polling stations. Listen to him on the floor.
To be conducted. I am mindful of the independence of the EC and the need for their work, but EC is accountable to the good people of Ghana. And if the respected leader of the House will be minded, and if so pleases, the EC should be invited to justify to the good people of Ghana why rerun of 19 polling stations has to be conducted in a constituency in Ghana. Mr. Speaker, I'm saying this mindful of the fact that that constituency has been without representation for almost 7 months. And it is also important that they have representation. But the conduct is going to determine the stability or otherwise of the country. So Parliament should be concerned as to the decision. So I'm just asking the leader of the House to invite the Electoral Commission to give us the basis in line with Article 23 and 296 of the Constitution. The discretion that the EC has to, come out with this particular directive, I think Parliament has to be informed accordingly, and then we are informed.
Thank you very much.
Very cool. And so did the majority leader respond?
Well, yes, all these commentaries were on the back of the business statement that he had just presented to the House. And so he got back to the dispatch box and actually read out the public statement that the Electoral Commission had put out in defense of the decision to rerun the election. And in his own opinion, this rerun was simply the natural course of events because, as he had said on the floor last 2 weeks or 3 weeks when the Electoral Commission did come to answer some questions on this matter, because EC and the officials themselves could not authenticate the results in some of those 19 polling stations, the natural course of events was to rerun this election, and he does not see anything wrong with the decision as have been taken by the EC.
The Electoral Commission is saying that their own presiding officers did not verify the 19 polling stations. And because their presiding officers did not verify the 19 polling stations, they don't think that those polling station results should be used. And that is why they are deciding to rerun those 19 polling stations. You made reference to the presentations made by the EC in this House. If you recall, after the EC's presentation, I drew the attention to the fact that the matter in contention was the issue of verification of the pink sheets, the scanned ones, and that their own presiding officers did not verify the pink sheets. And that day he was calling on this House to help them to have security to collate the results. And I said that for this House to help you, this House has to verify that what you are telling us is true. And I know because everything happened on television and the presiding officers did not verify those pink sheets. So if you want us to help you, we will conduct an inquiry in this House. And if we establish that your own presiding officers verify those pink sheets, then we will direct the police to come and provide you with the protection you need to collect the results. This is what has made them to go back, think over it, and now decide that they have to come clean on the fact that their own presiding officers did not verify the scanned pink sheets. And if the scanned pink sheets were not verified by their own presiding officers, on what basis should that be used? That is why they are calling for a rerun of those 19 polling stations. I don't know why you are afraid. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? So please,
let us not try to politicize this and say that because recently the national chairman of one political party made a statement, the EC is intimidated. No, it's just fair and reasonable that if their own officer did not verify those pink sheets, that they should rerun those polling stations.
Well, Kweku, in the end, did the House really arrive at a decision whether the leadership of the EC will be held to the House?
Well, the majority leader, who is the chairman of the Business Committee, did not give in to that demand of the minority. Ultimately, when he concluded his remarks, he did not give any indication at all as to whether or not he was going to decide or program the EC to come in. And so next week, we don't expect the Electoral Commission to come here. The expectation is that the Commission will be preparing for that election next week, Friday, and that they will be allowed to go as that. But of course, we heard from the New Patriotic Party that decided to go to court on the matter, whether or not they will get any injunctive relief before the 11th Friday next week, when the Electoral Commission will be looking forward to conduct this election or not. We do not know whether that will happen. But the majority in Parliament clearly not giving in to the demands of the NPP to actually bring in the Electoral Commission to answer some questions on this matter.
Right, Kweku. So back in the studio here, we shall get back to the Ablekuma North constituency conversation and the NPP. But now that I have you, can I have some update on the sentencing of Patricia Agyei Nanagrada?
Well, yes, for the last 2 years, Nanagrada has been prosecuted for satanic advertisement, defrauding by false pretenses, among others. And the trial has been going on for quite some time. Today, the court had to give judgment in that matter, and also whether or not Nanagrada was guilty or not. About 3-4 hours ago, the trial judge found Nanagrada guilty of the charges that the state had leveled against her. But because she's a woman, then the natural course of events is to order for a pregnancy test to be conducted on any woman at all who has any trouble in court and who is convicted of offense that carries a jail term, for a pregnancy test to be conducted on them. That pregnancy test was conducted and came out negative, that Nanagrada was actually not pregnant. And then that paved the way for the judge to actually impose the sentencing. And the sentencing is that Nanagrada should spend the next 15 years in jail. And so Nanagrada has been sentenced to 15 years for her role in money dominance satanic advertisement, among others. She's been found guilty, she's been sentenced to 15 years. We do not know if a lawyer will be appealing this judgment or not, but between now and the next 15 years, Nanagrada will not sleep in the comfort of a home. She will be either in his own prison or any other prison facility that the state needs to use.
Right. Thank you so much, Kweku Asante, for that update. Now, back here in the studio, we'll turn our attentions back to the New Patriotic Party. Now, the New Patriotic Party has rejected the Electoral Commission's decision to rerun elections at 19 polling stations within the Ablekuma North constituency. Now, the party denied claims by the EC that it agreed to the rerun at a meeting with EC on July 1. General Secretary Justin Frimpong said the party during that meeting raised concerns over what it sees as an abrupt change in the EC stance. Now, the NPP pointed out that the Commission had previously informed Parliament and the party that only 3 polling station results from Ablekuma North constituency were outstanding and questioned the rationale behind their expanded rerun, threatening to head to court.
As you are aware, the EC on Wednesday, 2nd July 2025, issued a statement on Ablekuma North Parliamentary election statement under the hand of Mr. Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairman Operations, with the caption, "Elections in selected polling stations in Ablekuma North." The EC stated emphatically that following a meeting with representatives of the NPP and the NDC on 1st July 2025, and after extensive deliberations, it had resolved to rerun the election in 19 polling stations. The EC gave the following justification. I quote, "The commission arrived at the decision to rerun the election in the underlisted polling stations because the 19 scanned polling station results used for the collation, though approved by agents of both political parties, were not verified by the presiding officers responsible for those polling stations," unquote. Ladies and gentlemen, let it be on record that at the meeting with the Electoral Commission on 1st July, our representatives, in the presence of Evans Nimakun, our Director of Research and Elections, and Ebenezer Nati, Honorable Ebenezer Nati, former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma Central, representing our party, vehemently opposed the position of the Electoral Commission. So it cannot be that after extensive discussion, the EC painting the picture as if the parties there agreed to their roadmap. The MPP reps at the meeting opposed to the Electoral Commission's position, and that was our position at the meeting, just for the records. For the avoidance of doubt, the New Patriotic Party finds the Electoral Commission's sudden U-turn on Ablekuma North stalemate as not only shocking, but also disingenuous and unlawful. The party thus completely rejects the decision of the Commission to rerun the polling station elections in the said 19 polling stations, and we shall proceed to advance our reasons.
My colleague Kenneth Edubofo Jesse was at the news conference and joins me in studio with more. Kenneth.
Right. The General Secretary has outlined most of their concerns that they have, but the ultimate thing is that they're saying that they're going to go to court because they've said that it is only the court that has the right to order for a rerun of any election of such kind. And of course, they say that the EC has betrayed their trust. They wrote a series of letters to the EC. The EC responded to them that it was only 3 polling stations that were outstanding in that particular constituency, and that they were waiting on the police to provide protection to them so that they go back and rerun it. So this is really coming as a shock to them. And then they are alleging that after the national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, had an interview here at JoyNews and said that he believed that the top 3 hierarchy of the party should go. The tone of the EC has changed, and that is coming on the back of them backtracking on the fact that they were going to rerun just 3 polling stations to 9. So they are raising concerns that perhaps there's some forced intimidation from the party and also from government. That is why their tone have changed. So what is the latest on this is that they are going to court to petition the court to halt the processes of rerunning the 19 constituencies, and that they are only going to partake in a rerun which involves the initial 3 polling stations that they were made aware of. So that's what the General Secretary of the MPP, Justin Kodia, said.
Well, so because basically they're not against a rerun entirely, but it will be the number of polling stations that...
Exactly. You know, this has hit a stalemate right at the beginning of this year when, we were not able to declare winners. It was included in some constituencies. You have Dome, Kwabinya, Okaikwe, Central, and Co. All of them have been resolved, but this one has hit a stalemate because the returning officers could not authenticate some pink sheets. And then from the beginning, according to the New Patriotic Party, all the communication that they've been having with the Electoral Commission, what they've been told is that there are just 3 outstanding polling stations. 3, right from the beginning, until the Electoral Commission made the decision yesterday that they are going to rerun the elections in 19 polling stations. So they are going with the initial 3 that has been that they have been informed by the Electoral Commission, and that if it is anything more than 3, they will not agree. That's why they've petitioned the court.
Right, thank you. Let's show you that.
The law gives the EC the authority to order a rerun of elections. It has a duty, and neither the Constitution nor the Representation of the People's Law, PNDC Law 284, nor the Public Elections Regulations, CI 127, gives the Electoral Commission that power to conduct a rerun. Under the law, it is only a court of competent jurisdiction that can order a rerun of elections duly conducted by the Electoral Commission. So the Electoral Commission has no power, no authority to determine a rerun for Ablekuma North, except by the court. Except by the court. In any case, we have evidence that some of these presiding officers in the so-called 19 polling stations were in fact at the collation center, and where they verified the results from their polling stations. Mr. Agyei, if we have that video, please let's play it.
Except of that press conference that happened earlier by the NPP.